Now, buddy, one thing that the big release of the Microsoft Flight Simulator almost 4 years ago brought along was an insane growth of the overall flight sim market. Yes, everybody, I'm talking especially hardware. I mean, Thrustmaster, a Turtle Beach, Honeycomb, or even, you know, the seating setups like Next Level Racing or my new motion simulator from Depth of Field that I'm here to test out. Every few months or so, I'm making new videos about crazy new flight sim products that can bring our home setups closer and closer to actual, you know, real professional flight sim setups. Now, everybody, here in this package, we've got an exciting new release by the company of FlightSim.com, and you can see it here. This, you know, looks like a rather normal yoke. It is a yoke, it's got some switches, it feels high quality, but everybody, there's more to this. You can see we've got quite a long box. It's a little scratched as well because it's, again, it's only a test product. And everybody, what is in this, you know, giant box is an electric motor. Everybody, yes. Something that you get when you go to a professional flight simulator is definitely force feedback controls. Flight controls are yokes that are supposed to simulate feedback from, you know, your control surfaces that you're controlling. That is actually the thing that makes your airplane in the simulator feel like a real one. If you've ever been in a Cessna on the left seat, you know, flying your airplane with a left hand, it's, you know, it's kind of a workout almost, controlling your airplane. This is why all the other yokes that have been available for consumer purposes are not quite there yet. But everybody, the company of FlightSim.com really wants to change that, make the kind of first consumer force feedback yoke. It's not released just yet. It's actually releasing on Kickstarter this month, I think, for around $800, which obviously is still very expensive, but it's kind of half price for some other setups for yokes I've seen that actually do this. So let's go ahead and maybe see. Should you pre-order this thing? In this comprehensive review, but let's first of all go ahead and strap this thing onto my Airbus settings. Yes, let's turn the Airbus into a cool bus. We're of course starting with this thing. Let's remove it.
Alright, there you go. Yes, getting rid of all the old center modules of the flight simulator to put this giant box of yoke there. You know, I did kind of struggle to mount the yoke onto my setup, so I just ended up using Gorilla Tape, you know, the double-sided tape. It actually works really well.
Alright, so after 20 minutes of putting this thing on the flight sim setup here, connecting all the USB-C cables, and here you go, putting the kill switch to the setup, which is very much necessary because I guess these motors do have the power to cut your arm off. Here we are with a beautiful CLS-60, world first affordable modular force feedback yoke for flight simulation. The first equipment really, and we can feel, yeah, overall the quality already really isn't bad at all. I mean, definitely, I mean, if I've seen Cessna's where it's worse, this is kind of like a combined plastic material, which is, it's that kind of plastic where you don't feel it's plastic. It could also very well be metal. It's probably metal. This feels like a Cessna and I really like it. Now, I've already watched the how-to setup that the company did, which is, you know, a very good tutorial on how to set up the software. It's really easy.
UART?
No, shut up now, I'm talking. So here it is, the FFB tools that's needed to connect to the flight simulator. So let's go and do this. In order to turn this yoke on, we have to, you know, put out the kill switch. Like that. Yes! It did magic! There you go, it just kind of mapped itself, and we can connect the hardware device. Connected successful. There we go, this is what it looks like. Yes, we can see, and it's, you know, as I expected it, quite a bit of work putting this yoke here to the left and also to the right, because, I mean, unless you're in like an Airbus, it's going to be a bit of work to be using your yoke. I really like it. All right, let's go ahead and do this now. Let's actually start the flight simulator. All right, then let's do this. Here we go, we've got the CLS-60 once again, ready for calibration. Let's do that. Oh my. And now you can change, you know, all the settings that we want. There's the hat switches. They of course work. We've got some more buttons. These are maybe for ATC, whatever you'd want. This is actually quite good, and this works now. Let's go ahead and actually spawn into an airplane. Let's do it. All right, now we're spawned in, and is there any other plane that's better to try this out with than the Cessna 172? Everybody loved this plane, and actually, I do have to say, I think the yoke is very much, well, inspired by the Cessna yoke. I mean, we have the trim here, we have the autopilot button here, here's the ATC. All we need, we also have this cute hatch switch here that works perfectly fine for, viewing around the cockpit, just like you normally have. This is definitely not missing anything, this yoke. And well, something you can slightly see, if you have an eye close to it, is that this force feedback yoke is already feedbacking. If you've ever been in a real Cessna, you know that you'd have a lot of engine vibrations already in the yoke just with the engine turned on. And you can see that this thing is actually moving. Yes, we have the software here. We have several effects that our simulator, engine RPM, check this out. So yes, as the engine RPM improves, we can already feel that also through the motion seat, but it's also the vibrations that get a little bit less. Stuff like that is simulated very, very well here. Yes, you can see, yeah, just the tiniest bits of vibration. You can't really, my problem with all of these flight sim equipment is that you can't really bring across what it's really like to use them in a video. Let's go ahead and take off here with the Cessna. Let's put the flaps to 1 right here. Perfect. Yes, I am doing something illegal, and that is using the Airbus throttle controls together with this yoke in combination. All right, let's go ahead and take off soon here. I think we've got enough speed. There we go, just like that. And yeah, this is what it's supposed to feel like. We can feel the motion seat. I shouldn't have done that. Beautiful, and we are flying, and you know what? I'm amazed because this thing feels like it's supposed to feel. Right? All these other yokes just have never gotten it right. I mean, genuinely. This feels like you want to grab it with both of your hands and fly because it's so heavy and so nice heavy, there are more. Let's maybe try out more of the effects, right? We can, for example, simulate a stall. Let's go ahead and do that now. We're at a very safe altitude to do that. Yeah. And oh, yeah, it was shaking quite, you cannot, oh, right, yeah, I'm talking about safe altitude. Let's pull up all the way. Forgivable Cessna, we are now turned to the right. I'm all about to fall off my seat. This is nice. This is like you are inside of the airplane. Everything is shaking. You just want to, do dolphin moves with your airplane because it feels so much like what you've wished for a long time. Maybe try flying a bigger airplane and maybe try butter landing with this thing. All right, everybody, buckle up for landing on this 747. Now we can adjust the trim nicely. And this, genuinely, once again, this is what I meant by it being a gem. I'm a weak man, okay? And this is, if you're doing this for 4 hours a day, especially with the 747, which is super resistant, it's actually a gym. Like, this is actually a training machine for the biceps. That's another selling point. All right, hold on. Everything's fine. Let's go ahead and buckle up. We need to do that for sure. All right.
Sync rate. Check reverse. 10.
A perfect landing for a perfectly short runway. Just like that. That has been very hard. I'm insanely sorry. And a very quick stop. Jeez, this is insane. I've done a really bad landing, actually. I've just realized. When you really wouldn't believe that. Oh, shut up, airplane. You really wouldn't believe that just as like this yoke, which is of course very expensive, would definitely transform your flight sim experience that much. It is quite impressive. All right, there we go. We're taking off. We can see, yes, we can see a little bit of wobbling here. It's probably not very visible on camera how this feels. Let's take off. We're probably not gonna make it. Take off, please. All right, let's see what the motion sim does when we die. Yeah. Again, I really like, I mean, just the fact that when you use the trim, just like in the real airplane, you can see maybe slightly, the yoke is starting to move, just like it does here in this simulator, it does here in real life. The yoke moves according to your trim settings, which is what happens in real life. All right, let's perform one more last butter landing, and the absolute butter machine
That's what I like to see. Again, I think this is actually the best yoke that I've ever had. Very good feel to it, very sturdy, obviously very expensive. But to a flight simmer that takes flight simming seriously, I think it is a great addition. This is, by the way, not sponsored at all, not an ad. Shut up. This is actually my honest opinion about this. I'm quite starstruck. This is absolutely amazing. Oh, that's not crowd.
100, 50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
That was not a flare at all. That was not good. Yes, everybody, it is true. To all those who, brag about landing well in the flight simulator, you should try landing with an actual yoke, like an actual plane, and see how good you land. That was really bad. Good one. So everybody, there you have it, the flightsim.com. I guess it's launching this month. Although I'm not quite sure about, how successful the Kickstarter will be, how quickly they're able to ship out products. Sure am hoping the best of success for this company, because this is a really, really good yoke. It's really, really good. That's all I can say. So everybody, thank you guys so much for watching this really, really bad review, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. As always, good night. I'm going to be doing just this all day.
And a special thanks goes out to my members, my supporters, Guns Killer, R27, James Duram, That Dude, Anime Gods of Gaming, Derek, Insider Plane, Nishijitsu Finder, Professional Jamal, Ryland Williams, and New the York. You've got beautiful names.